At the Dog Aging Institute, we fund research on canine aging so every dog can live a longer, healthier, happier life. Our discoveries benefit both dogs and the people who love them. Together, we can create a future with more good years for dogs and their families.
Hi everyone, welcome to Positively Science, an educational science series by the Dog Aging Institute. Have you ever wondered why dogs look so different from each other? I mean, think about it. A tiny Chihuahua and a giant Great Dane are the same species? From giant to tiny, solid coats, spots, brindles, long hair, short hair, even littermates may not look the same. Today, we're breaking down 3 big ideas that explain it all: genotype, phenotype, and the epigenome. Let's start with genotype. Your genotype is your genetic code. It's the instructions written in your DNA. Think of it like a cookbook full of recipes. It tells the body how to build certain proteins, which then build everything else. In dogs, genotypes include genes for things like coat color, ear shape, size, and even behavioral traits. But here's the important part. Genotype is invisible. You can't look at a dog and see its DNA. You can only see the results of that DNA. That brings us to phenotype, the traits you can see. Phenotype is the physical expression of the genotype. It's the dog's actual coat color, how tall it is, how curly its fur is, and even things like how it responds to training. Both of these dogs are labs. It's very similar DNA, but their phenotypes are different because different genes are being expressed. But here's the question: how does a gene decide whether to express or not? That's where the epigenome comes in. The epigenome is like a control switch for your gene. Remember when we said your genome was like a cookbook? Your epigenome is the instruction card that says use this or don't use that. The epigenome controls which genes are turned on and which are turned off, without actually changing the DNA itself. Remember that Chihuahua and Great Dane? They have almost the same genes, but in the Great Dane, genes for growth are turned on a lot, so the dog grows very large. In the Chihuahua, those same growth genes are mostly turned off, so the dog stays small. Same genes, different epigenome instructions. Even more amazing, an organism's epigenome can change during its lifetime based on things like diet, exercise, and even stress. So while the genotype stays the same your whole life, your phenotype can change. Here's where it gets even more interesting. The environment can also change your phenotype. For example, a dog might have genes for being tall, and the epigenome says, use those growth genes. But if it doesn't get enough nutrition as a puppy, the environment changes how those genes are expressed. Same genotype, same epigenome instructions, but the environment affects the final results. That's why the same 2 puppies from the same parents can end up looking different depending on how they're raised. Let's look at coat color in more detail. A dog's genotype includes genes for pigment colors, but the epigenome controls whether those genes are turned on or off. Some genes can turn off brown pigment, some can lighten it, some can create patterns like spots or stripes. One dog might have the epigenome that activates dark pigment genes, while a littermate has an epigenome that keeps those genes quiet, or activates brown pigment instead. Then the environment, like sun exposure or nutrition, can also influence how dark or light the final coat appears. That's why you can have a litter of puppies with the same parents but totally different looks. So now for our key takeaways. Genotype is the recipe. Epigenome is the on-off switch. Phenotype is what is actually expressed. The environment impacts how the genotype is expressed, or what the animal will actually look like, act like, how they'll respond to certain medications, and their disease risk. Animals may have the same genotype, such as identical twins, but have different phenotypes due to the way the genes are expressed. Understanding genotype, epigenome, and phenotype helps scientists, veterinarians, and dog owners make better decisions about health, training, care, and more. It also helps explain why every dog, even within the same breed, is wonderfully unique. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn more about our work, visit us at dogaginginstitute.org. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to support more science-based content.